Put your hands up if you started January 2025 super enthusiastic, but it's not quite gone the way that you expected. This video was the start of documenting how I'm kicking the hell out of my training in January with a focus of heading towards the Inferno race series in September, but my body decided to do other things. I think what I need to do is make a cup of tea and then tell you all about how it got started, the ups and the downs, and just be really honest with you all. I am turning more into a tea drinker than I am a coffee drinker right now. Right, where to start? Now, a couple of months before Christmas, I got this cold bug that's been going around and it really knocked me to the floor. So I had to back off training completely for 2 weeks and then reintroduce it as and when I felt good enough to do that. I was pretty fatigued, and I think that's definitely down to the cold that's been going around. And also I was really sensible and listening to what people have been saying who are doctors and nurses locally, saying, look, when you get this cold and flu bug, back it right off. You don't want to get pneumonia. People who've tried to push through it have made themselves iller, and I really didn't want to go there, so I took it really easy. And in the 3 weeks or so running up to Christmas, I started to feel better, so I started to put a little bit of intensity in, but it was really clear that when I was looking at my power, doing things like hill reps, it was pretty much down, and that's because I've lost fitness over the 4 weeks I wasn't that well. January's coming, and then it's 4 weeks until I go to Calp, so the focus really was to keep on with my hill reps and add in some VO2 work, so when I get to Calp, I'm in really good shape. That was the plan that I'd put into play for the start of January. So January started well, like this. It's Thursday, the 2nd of January 2025. I want to get in fairly decent condition, so when I go to Calp at the end of the month, I can actually give that training block some really good justice. So this block is all about hill reps and VO2 work. Those are absolutely filthy. 3 sets, 8, around about 305 watts for each one. As I say, they're filthy, but they're so good for you. 2025 started ready, focused for Inferno and Alpe d'Huez. And then the wheels fell off. Well, I say it fell off, what I mean is I was biting off a little bit more than I can chew, if I'm honest. Stick around because I'll talk about my mindset and how that's developed over time to not worry about these setbacks that I have from time to time. They're pretty normal, and also how I get over them and really get back into the focus of just being as consistent as I can. I'm not a robot, I'm nothing special, but over time I've developed this mindset just to help me get over these humps, and hopefully they'll help you. Day after hill reps, I was feeling pretty good, so I caught up with a mate called Rich and we went out to do a 2.5 hour, 3 hour easy aerobic ride. Now, it's winter and we knew it was going to be cold, but it was absolutely bitter on the bike. By the time we got home, the pair of us were frozen, and I think that actually hit me harder than I thought it would do. And when I woke up on Sunday morning as normal to go and ride out with the guys at 6 o'clock in the morning, I got up, had a shower, felt pretty okay, made a cup of tea and thought, John, I am knackered. I feel absolutely battered. And I went back to bed. Now, clearly I was tired because when I did wake up after I'd gone back to bed, it was about 10 o'clock in the morning. So my body was telling me, look, you need more rest. And I did listen to it. I thought, you know, just back it off. You don't need to ride your bike today. There's plenty of time to get your fitness in. Plus also, if you have to rearrange your training a little bit and focus on using Calp as your training focus, do that. Because there's no point in bashing yourself super hard right now. You could easily make yourself ill or worse, get injured. So I looked at my training and decided that I was going to rejig a few things. So rather than have that VO2 focus in January, I'm going to back it off a little bit. Clearly, I'm not as fit as I thought I was, and I don't need to be pushing myself right now. With the volume of training that I've got planned for the whole of January, plus keeping the hill reps up and hitting the gym, that's good enough. I don't need to panic. And sometimes I think, especially in January, we need to chuck more into the pot. And my mindset is this. When things aren't going as well as you planned, take a step back and take a bigger look at the picture. And then ask yourself, what can you do about it now to make it better in the future? What I used to do is panic and knee-jerk reaction to everything and just try and focus on cramming more in because I was losing fitness. Now, as I've got older, I've realized that's not the cleverest way to do it. And sometimes it's better to take a step back, consolidate, and then move on. From experience, rushing training never works, and the most important thing is to focus on the basics of what you're trying to achieve with your training and then progress on it when you know you're ready to do so. Definitely for sure, adding more volume or more intensity when you know that your body's chucking red flags at you is not the right thing to be doing. And it's okay to take a step back and allow yourself more recovery time. So I made a pact with myself during the day on Sunday that what I would do is I felt better as the day went on because I'd eaten well, drunk enough fluids, just felt a bit more recovered. I'd go to the gym and just do a really fun, easy, light training session just to move the body so it can give me some clues as to actually how I really am feeling. I spent most of the morning just doing little extras for some of the people that I coach here at Velo, and also writing a few extra programs for people who have signed up for a custom plan. I had time to do that this morning because I wasn't riding the bike, so sometimes it's good to get ahead. I'm now feeling a little bit better. So I think what I'll do is I'll go to the gym. I'm not gonna lift super heavy. I don't want to hit my central nervous system too hard to make sure I stay pretty hydrated, so there's plenty of fluid and some electrolytes. Just literally gonna run through a little circuit, so maybe come with me and you can see what I'm gonna do. So I put a fun circuit together. So I've got one push, one pull, a pendulum squat, a trap bar deadlift, some terrible music going off in the background, all the lights switching off because I'm the only one in the gym, and I've got a couple of ab exercises. Let's go. Right, back from the gym. I'm glad I did that because I feel a bit more human. I definitely made the right decision not to ride the bike today, and it is something I say to the guys and the girls that I coach. Sometimes you know intrinsically that you just need a bit more recovery time, and that's definitely what I needed today. So having a bit of extra sleep-in time and not riding the bike and just listening to what my body was telling me was the right thing to do. So important to get that right. I'm excited for what's coming on, but I think I'm going to have a look at my training plan this week, and I'm just going to do one tough training session and everything else is going to be pretty steady, and keep with the strength training because I don't need to do too much right now. Try and get my words out because my main event isn't until September. So what I'm really doing is just building my strength and power and keeping my hill reps in place because I know that's really good for hill climbing. And really the big focus is getting out to Calp where it's going to be sunnier and I'll be able to put a fair bit of volume in and just really enjoy getting back onto the BMC. I'm going to wrap up with this. I've changed my training plan. So I had an idea that I was going to fit in some VO2 work before I go to Calp. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to work on the basics and have one intense session each week, which will be the hill reps that I do. They're pretty good quality right now, and I'm feeling really confident in my ability to ride strong up hills, which is great. I don't need to trash myself hard. My race isn't until September, so I don't need to be frantic in my training right now. And what I'm really trying to get across in this video is that sometimes we start January with such gusto that we do too much too soon. And always I say to people is, look, recovery is important. Focusing on the basics is the important bit. If you're consistent with that, good stuff happens. I hope that really helps. Look, I hope you enjoyed this video. I, wanted to try and be as honest with you guys as possible. Because I think sometimes people watching goes, well, that's Simon. He just cracks around on his bike all the time and he never has off times. And that's just not true. And I don't think enough people on social media share their ups and downs with their training. And that's what I want to do a little bit more with these videos. So look, if you like this video, do me a favor, hit like. And look, if you're following me or have been following me for a while and you haven't subscribed yet, hit subscribe because that just grows the channel. Right, look, I'll be back in a couple of weeks. Cheers.